Do a self-check-in just to make sure that you are doing okay today. You might not be doing okay, and that's okay. But you have to ask yourself anyway because you want to be doing okay. So how you guys doing today? Happy Saturday. I'm back. I'm back for my quick birthday getaway real quick before I jump into running my mouth about the things that God has me to deliver to you guys today. Of course, I'm here for my life lesson. But before I jump into that, let me just express my sincere gratitude for those of you who took time out to wish me happy birthday. I got so many phone calls, so many text messages, so many messages on my Facebook, and I even got messages on YouTube where people just saying such kind words to me, wishing me many more blessings and all of those type of things. You do not have to be so kind. And I know people don't have to be so kind because people weren't always so kind to me. Even still today, people are not always kind to me. So for those of you who just express kindness to me and send your kind words and compassionate words my way, those things are not unnoticed. They are not unrecognized. I see you, I hear you, I feel you in my heart, and I thank you. Thank you so much for taking your time out to be patient with me. I really needed to just clear my mind and relax and enjoy those few days of vacation. It was absolutely amazing. I really needed that for myself, and I'm back. I'm back. I always have on my mind the things that God places in my heart that He wants me to deliver over to you guys. And I am here. I had this life lesson prepared. Well, I already began to prepare it a few weeks ago. God placed this message into my spirit. And then when last Saturday came around, I was like, hold on, let me think this through. This is my birthday week. I'm just going to take this week off. I ain't do nothing last week. No, nothing. I shut the whole operation down for me to celebrate my birthday. Sometimes you have to do things like that for yourself, because if you don't do things like that for yourself, you can't depend on others to do those things for you. So take time out to celebrate yourself and give yourself what you deserve. So I really believe that I deserve that, and I know it wouldn't have gotten done if I hadn't take time out to do things like that for myself. So I thank God that He places things like that in my heart and in my spirit for me to be able to just get away and enjoy myself. I had an amazing birthday week. Even after I came home from my vacation, people were still celebrating me. Dinner, gifts, whatever, people had in their heart who I didn't get a chance to celebrate with here on U.S. soil because I flew out the country for my birthday. So I just came home still in celebration mode. But let me just tell you, jet lag is real. Like, I had to get myself together for the past couple days, turn down some invitations. Like, no, I don't even feel like it. I'm tired. So I've been kind of just catching up on some rest lately and just preparing myself to do what I'm supposed to do, be about my business and do the things that I know I am here and called to do. So, of course, I don't know how many of you guys remember, but I did switch my life lessons from Wednesdays to Saturdays because of my physical therapy treatments that I am currently in. So Wednesdays are not going to work for me right now, which actually, while I'm at it, let me remind you, my therapy has been extended. So where I thought I would be ending within the next few weeks, it probably is going to be extended for another month. I am healing, but I am healing slowly. I am not back to my regular self. I am moving really slow. I was like, oh my gosh, I feel like an old lady. I got this weird hop thing going on where my walk is just not graceful. That's the best way that I can explain it. It's not as graceful as it was before I got into this car accident. I'm still using a crutch and I still have a knee brace on and I still feel pain in my knee. And I just have to take my time and allow my body to do what it needs to do in order for me to heal. I haven't danced on the dance floor yet. And you looking at somebody who loves to express themselves and release through dance. That is one of my favorite things to do. And I can't indulge in things like that right now because my body is currently under healing mood. So I'm going to do that, but that's not going to stop me from being here and delivering messages to you guys. So I have a life lesson prepared for you today. Come on in here. Come on in. I see a few of y'all popping in already. You are welcome. Peace and love, kings and queens, and welcome. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Welcome to a new day, a day that we have never seen before and a day that we will never see again. Sometimes we get in the habit of taking things for granted. These days come and go so quickly, and we have to realize how precious these days are. You're never going to see what's today, August 17th, 2024. This only comes around once in a lifetime. There's not going to be another one. So we have to take these moments and realize how precious they are. Like, what are you doing with your life or with your day or with your moments, your hours, your time that is going to add value to your life, that is going to add value to your family or to your children? Or what kind of legacy will you be leaving behind today? Or what are you doing for yourself to leave a mark on this earth, to let everyone know and realize how important the gift of life is? Everything that you do, people notice the things that you do and the things that you don't do. And the mark that you leave on this earth is up to you. So don't take for granted like this is just another Saturday. I've been working all week. I know a lot of people have the luxury of having Saturdays off. You get to kick back, kick your feet up, and enjoy some time off. And by all means, do that. Do whatever pleases your heart. But always keep in mind that we should not take the time that we have on this earth for granted, because you will never see another day like this. This is the only one. So I'm just here to remind you of that. Welcome to new opportunities, new blessings, new gifts of life. Welcome. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I greet you with peace and with love, and I welcome you wholeheartedly. These messages are for everybody. Welcome to this week's life lesson. So I'm going to go ahead and put my topic out to y'all real quick. You know, sometimes I just be excited. I do. It took me so long to prepare this message, even though I've been preparing this message for like 2 weeks. And I was so excited. I love when God places something in my spirit and then I get all riled up about it. But this is something that I really had to take my time with. I'm going to lose a lot of friends today. Y'all ain't going to like me. So bang, bang, here it go. God gave me truth. I got on my truth earrings today. So yeah, God gave me truth. He placed it in my spirit. I know some time ago I talked a little bit about truth, but I never broke it down. I never broke down truth and actually dug into it and kind of picked it apart and learned about the truth, psychological studies and all type of things in the brain and how we interpret the truth and what our truth is and what truth looks like to us and all that type of stuff. Listen, if your butt start itching, don't get upset here, because I am not talking to anyone personally or in particular, but everyone is not going to feel comfortable about this message about truth, because we just don't like to face the truth. Sometimes living a life of untruthfulness is more comfortable for us than living a life of truth, when in all reality it's always best to walk in truth. no matter how uncomfortable it gets for you or not. That's when you are living a more meaningful life, when you learn to live by the truth. So I don't want to get too far ahead in my message, but listen, trust me, I'm on the edge of my seat. I know when I get excited about a message, I get geeked up. Listen, every message, I ain't gonna say every message. Some messages have me more excited and on edge than others, but all of them touch me in a special place in my heart, because I believe that these are messages that God has sent to me. Sometimes I gotta calm down my spirit. Like right now, I really have to calm down in my spirit because of how much this message is personalized for me. The truth. I am a very truthful person. A lot of people don't like that about me. They don't like my honesty. They don't like my truthfulness. People don't like the truth. No one is hated more than the man who walks in truth. I know that is my issue with a lot of people. A lot of people don't like to be called out on their bull crap. A lot of people just walk in a life that is not nearly as truthful as it should be. And I'm not saying that human beings are not perfect. We will never be perfect. I'm not a perfect human being. I will never be a perfect human being. That does not exist. But what I am saying is that we can work on ourselves in every way. All of us tend to be untruthful from time to time. I actually looked into a study during this study on truth, and it says that men are more untruthful than women. Listen, brothers, I love y'all. I do, but that, I guess they asked men, and maybe they were truthful about how honest they are compared to how untruthful that they tend to be on the regular basis. And studies show that women are more honest than men. And it was a big difference of how many men admitted to being more untruthful than women. Why it's that way? I don't know. Y'all gonna have to ask yourself, what is it about men? I don't know, that men just tend to be more untruthful than women. Listen, I'm just the messenger. If I make you mad or if you don't like this message, I don't care, because someone needs to hear this message on truth. I need to hear this message on truth. I believe that God placed it in my spirit to deliver a message on truth, not only for me, but because there is someone out here that needs to hear a message on truth. So I am extremely excited about the things that I have down in these notes. I studied for hours and hours and hours and hours and days, and and people not only just like studying things over time, but even people will teach you lessons about truth just interacting with people on a regular basis. I'm talking about raw lessons. I'm talking about hardcore raw lessons where I get the short end of the stick. Like I got bopped in the head with some untruths. I'm like, dang, like I didn't even think that you would be the one that I would have to be dealing with so many untruthfulness from you for whatever reason. And people tend to lie because it's a comfort thing for them. I don't know. I don't want to get too much ahead of myself, because I always do that. I always get to talking and then end up saying things that I already have in my notes. But listen, either you're going to like it or you're not going to like it. But let me just say this real quick first anyway. Even if you think you're not going to like this message on truth today, I challenge you to get in an uncomfortable place and be comfortable being uncomfortable while opening yourself up to receiving a message like this, because just because you don't want it, that don't mean you don't need it. you might really need this message on truth today. And that is for whoever that applies to. I don't want to hear about no truth, and you don't know me, and you don't know what I had to go through and why I had to live the life that I had to live, and all these type of things, whatever a bunch of excuses that you have, that you had reasons to live a series of lies and cover yourself up with things that just are not true, because your life don't look as good as everyone else's, and you can't keep up with the Joneses, and everybody over here doing this and you ain't even able to do that. So you gonna act like you something that you not, and you don't know my story. Listen, whatever it is, it's a lot of people out here that is living a life of untruthfulness. And that is just the reality of it. And you will see in the long run, and you probably have gotten a hardcore lesson about why living an untruthful life is not going to serve you in the long run. You probably already have gotten a lesson on it. Sometimes we can get these lessons and we still do it anyway. So the way that you choose to live your life, despite of the lessons you had to learn along the way, that is absolutely up to you. But I'm going to deliver this message anyway. I'm just saying, however you choose to perceive it, take it, I can't judge nobody. I can't sit up here and jump around, hoot and holler. My mom used to say hoot and holler like I'm better than somebody else and all them type of things. I can't talk about nobody, point my finger down, look down on nobody, or none of that. I am not the one to judge. Even with me preparing this message, I see things, untruthfulness. I'm keeping it a buck. I'm going to keep it a beam with y'all right now. I see untruthfulness in myself that I had to check myself with, like, why you lying? And why you lying? And why you just not telling the truth, or whatever, for whatever reason? Are you trying to cover things up? All right, I'm going to stop, because so much of this stuff is in my notes, and if I keep going, I'll be done just told the whole truth about the truth before I even got to the truth. This is why I be excited about this stuff. Y'all looking at me like I'm crazy. I get geeked up about this stuff. It is lessons of life. It's lessons of life, and I want to help you. So many people live lives of suffering in today's society, and we never get down to the source of why we live in so much suffering. It's things that we can be doing along the way where you can just kind of take some of the garbage off your plate and free yourself from so many things that have been holding you down for so long. And this might be one of those things. I'm just saying. Let me get it together. But anyway, before we get started, for those of you who are familiar with my routine as far as my life lessons are concerned, I always like to take a few moments out to express silent gratitude. So what I like to do is I close my eyes and I just cram into about between 10 and 13 seconds the things that I am most grateful for. Excuse me. And it literally lifts your vibration up. If you woke up in a bad mood today, or somebody was getting on your nerves, or you had an argument with your husband last night, or whatever, when you take time out to learn how to be grateful for everything, every gift, every moment, every breath of air that enters and exits your lungs. And there are people that laid down and died last night that planned on having a whole Saturday. They was going to cut their grass today, run some errands, go to the dry cleaner, go to the supermarket, and all that type of stuff. They didn't even wake up this morning. I'm telling you, if you are a lie, even if you say that for the whole 10, 13 seconds, thank you, God, for allowing me to see another day. It's still going to lift your vibration up. It is going to lift your vibration up and bring you to a higher place internally. And when we are grateful for the things that we have, we open ourselves up to many, many, many more blessings. So We're going to take time out to do that. We're going to we're going to just take a few moments to express some silent gratitude real quick. I always go on. I'm going to try not to. I always go off on y'all about learning how to express gratitude. Not that I'm not convinced that you are in the habit of expressing gratitude. I just want to be a reminder, because sometimes we can lose sight of how blessed we are on a regular basis. And I promise you that you are more blessed than you give yourself credit for. We take these small things for granted. And while I'm speaking of this, I went to Jamaica for 3 days for my birthday. And this is my third time going to Jamaica. And this was the best experience that I ever had being in Jamaica. I didn't stay on a resort this time. And I actually got a chance to see how people live in Jamaica. The Jamaicans live the struggle, how they built their homes with their bare hands, and the survival mode that they get in on a regular basis. How, the things that we take for granted, things like some of them burn their trash, and for whatever reason, how the sanitary system is set up there. Everyone is not fortunate enough to take their garbage and sit it on the curb and get it picked up. Yes, the things that we take for granted, everything, to the way that they wash their clothes, the way that they clean themselves, so many things that we take for granted. And the experience was very humbling. It is a very humbling experience. I talk about those things all the time, how us here in the United States, we got it good compared to people that live in other countries, because we don't have to go through a lot of things that they go through. But this was actually the first time that I got a chance to actually experience and see the way that people live in different countries. They call them third world countries. I don't even really understand why they call them third world countries, because we're all in this same world together. I guess that maybe that's the way of separating their world from our world, but it is a huge difference. And we take so many things for granted, being able to take a hot shower, and even the way that they prepare their food. A lot of them grow their own food from the ground, or breed their own animals, chickens, and have chicken farms and all those type of things, and they kill and eat their own meats and all those type of things. But we just go to the supermarket and pick up a pack of chicken. We lucky we ain't got to be chopping the head off chickens and gutting them open and all those type of things. Some of them don't have a choice but to prepare their meals in that way. And we over here driving through the drive-through and still complaining because it's taking too long and all that type of things. And I'm telling you, it gets real. We take for granted the life that we are grateful enough to experience, even right here in the United States. We don't appreciate it enough. Even with the little that we do have, or what we do have, some of us complain that it's nothing wrong with wanting more. So let me just get my words right. It's nothing wrong with wanting more, but a lot of times we are not grateful for what we have. It's a blessing to not have to go through a lot of things that other people go through all across this world. That is just one experience that I experienced over in Jamaica. You talking about in Africa and China, and just people all over the world. In Indonesia, they work in sweatshops. They get paid a nickel a day, and then they're working till their fingers bleed just to barely be able to feed their families, and all the things that we take for granted. We over here living off food stamps and all that type of stuff, and we still complaining that it ain't enough, and don't want to get up and earn a living, and just being flat out lazy and all those type of things. You go over there and and experience how it is over there, and let me hear you, and come back complaining, because I'm telling you, I'm just here to remind you that you are more blessed than you realize you are, because we take so many of these things for granted. So yes, I was able to experience that And like I said, the experience was very, very humbling. It wasn't like, yeah, let me hurry up and get back to my normal life. I could live there forever. It brings you closer to God, and it makes you more grateful and appreciate life even more. I am a person who loves to just express gratitude every day, all day. I just feel like I'm not expressing enough gratitude, and I done said thank you 1,000 times between 10 a.m. and 12 noon. And I just still want to say thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. And we should all get in the habit of doing that. There is a whole nother world on the side of from not expressing gratitude to the side of expressing gratitude. That's two different worlds. The people that don't do it and the people that do it live in two different worlds. I'm telling you that they do. It's different. It's just different over here when you allow yourself to be open and willing to express gratitude on a regular basis. It's a whole nother life, and I want you all to be able to experience that. That's why I make it my business to remind you of that during my life lessons every week. I don't go off about it all the time, but during my life lessons, we gonna express some gratitude. That's just what we gonna do. So if you don't like it, and that's on you, I'm not going to stop doing it because people are not comfortable with it. For as long as I live, I am going to make it my business to express gratitude, because I know I don't have to be here. Now, we don't get me started of what the things that I have been going through, even in the past 60 days. I think it was just 2 months, the anniversary of a car accident that could have easily taken my life. I am very grateful to be alive, to be sitting here before you and talking to you right now. So here we go. I like to close my eyes, calm my spirit, take a couple deep breaths, as much as I can cram on up in there, things that I am most grateful for. So after we do that, we're going to jump into this life lesson. I hope you're ready. Here we go. I can literally feel my vibrations raising up when I do that every single time. Every time. It never fails. I'm telling you, that thing ain't little. It ain't little. It's big. When you open yourself up to gratitude, that is huge. You are doing so much for yourself when you take time out to express gratitude. So listen, y'all might not like me today, because I'm going to get into this message right now. If you like me, if you don't like me, I love you anyway. God placed it in my spirit to talk about truth today, and that is what I am going to talk about. So without further ado, I'm not going to waste any more of you guys' time. I have a ton of fantastic notes sitting right here that I am eager to get into. So what is the truth? Ask yourself that question. What is the truth? So I'm going to give you my conclusion from my study about what I believe the truth is. Truth is a treasure everyone wants to experience. Truth is a treasure everyone wants more of in one way or another. Truth is a treasure. And even for those of us who are not as truthful as others, we still seek the truth. Even for the untruthful person don't like to be lied to. And you lie more than anybody I ever knew in my life, but you don't like being lied to. That's crazy how that works, right? But that's true. Truth is a treasure that everyone wants more of, and we all seek the truth in life in one way or another. We want the truth. We want to experience the truth. We want to be told the truth. We don't want anyone to lie to us. So listen, if the liar doesn't like to be lied to. How does that work? I don't know. But anyway, let's keep it on moving. So truth is facts or reality. So and or reality, that's what truth is. Truth is facts or reality. God is truth. Knowing the truth is knowing God. God is truth. You have some people out here that don't believe in God. I think it's atheists. Don't quote me on that. But you have people out here that don't believe in God, or they got beef with God for whatever reason. And if God was real, why you let all this stuff happen to me in my life and all that kind of stuff. The truth of God is seen in everyday life. You can't deny that God is the truth. No matter how much you get pissed off at him because he ain't answer your prayers and your mom got sick and you asked God to save your mom and he let her die anyway, so God can't be real, and we got all these excuses, 1,000,001 excuses, while we don't want to walk in the fact of the truth of the matter is that God is real. God is real and God is truth. I'm not here to preach to y'all. I'm not any type of religious teacher. Just let me get that out the way. I don't want to be classified as a religious teacher only because people need help. And I don't think that that should be cornered into any religion. So my teachings go beyond religion. They go to humans, period. This world is suffering on so many levels. And I don't think that the only people that should be saved is those that bow down to religions. Even those of us who choose not to be religious should be those. All you have to do is give your heart to God. Give your heart to God. Like, being religion is not it's not mandatory in order for you to have a healthy relationship with God. But I will talk about God because I have a strong connection with my higher being. I believe in him. I love him. I talk to him every single day. I worship him. Sometimes I worship God so much I got tears running down my face. I have a powerful testimony. Even the things that I have gone through in my life over the years is a testimony of the truth of God, because if it was not for God, I wouldn't have made it through the things that I have made it through. So I know that God is real, despite of everything that I had to go through. Those things could have taken me out of here a long time ago. So I know that God is truth from my own personal experience. And I know that people try to make so many excuses about why they need more proof that God is truth or God is real or whatever. You don't have to look for it in a book or ask a religious teacher. All you have to do is look at your life and see the truth of God over your life. You don't have to be taught it. You can experience it. When you look at your own life, you see the truth of God over your life. So to be honest, we can all work on being more truthful with ourselves and with others. Listen, I'm guilty. I am guilty. I am not exempt of these things. I know everyone, for whatever reason, we choose not to be truthful. From time to time, during the study I was just mentioning to you guys, it says by far that men are more untruthful than women for whatever reason. But the study also shows that almost like 98% of all human beings admit to telling some type of untruths a certain amount of time throughout the week or throughout the day. So people admit to being untruthful, whether you admit it or not. You're untruthful in some way. Listen, I don't expect people to be perfect. I want you to be able to check yourself and get as far away from being untruthful as you possibly could be. Because the more we are truthful with ourselves, the closer we are and have a connection with the God of truth. And you want to be in relationship with God, and God don't want no liar sitting next to him. He God. So we want God to do all these things for us, and we want to have a connection with God. You can't lie to God. It's impossible to sit up here and think that you can lie to God and get away with it anyway. And people are insane enough to do those type of things. But that is one of the worst things that you could possibly do, is think that you're going to lie to God and get away with it, and lie to yourself. So if you are untruthful to others, you are living untruths within yourself as well. That is one of the worst things that you can do. Some people lie so much that they begin to believe their own lies. And people just live lives of untruth. Listen, I have seen it. I have experienced it firsthand. People that I will wholeheartedly love for the rest of my life. You are just not a very truthful person. And on top of that, that ain't working too well for you. It just ain't. It just ain't. You think you can walk around being so untruthful like that thing ain't going to explode in your face like a freaking volcano running over hot lava. You just burning and melting in a pot of lies. Mm-hmm. And it doesn't work out for you. And despite of the suffering that are over some people's lives because of their own wrongdoings, things like being untruthful, some people choose to be that way anyway. Whatever floats your boat, whatever rolls your little boat. If you like it, I love it. I don't want to be that person. I'm just saying, I don't want to be the type of person who gets in the habit of living a life of untruths. That's just not what I want for myself, because I know how damaging that can be. And once you have lived a little while, you will know for yourself too. I guess maybe a lot of these younger folks, maybe, let me say, because they doing things now, like they normalizing. Okay, I was born into an Islamic religion whose principles was love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. Those were the 5 fundamental principles that I was born into. So I was born that way. A lot of things that they have normalized in today's society, I just can't relate to. And then when you call them out on it, they like, how you gonna call me out on my lies like it's just a lie? That's foreign to me because I was not raised that way. I just wasn't. I don't think people should get in the habit of telling lies. And they just slinging them around nowadays like la, like, okay, whatever. I see you. I know that you're lying. You lied to me before. You're lying to me right now. And then it's my choice, ultimately, if I want to associate myself with someone who's known to be a pathological liar. But then when you point people out on their bull crap, you're wrong. Like, oh, I just don't like being lied to. But if I lie to you, you ain't gonna like it. I'm telling you, the liar don't like to be lied to. Listen, this is reality. This is life. This is the society that we are living in. I don't know who's worse, the younger generation or the older generation, because some of these 50-year-olds are just as bad as some of these 15-year-olds. And if you are offended by what I just said, then that just might be you. I'm telling you, sometimes it really don't even matter right now if you are a part of the younger generation or the older generation. It's just today's society, the things that we have gotten in the habit that we have gotten used to over this time. And I just can't relate to it. I'm not comfortable with it. And I'm not going to try to force myself to be comfortable with it just because that's what people are doing now. I wasn't raised that way. I just wasn't. I wasn't raised that way. So whatever. I know it was two different generations. My kids call me old. Whatever, you are as young as you feel, and I feel amazing despite of. I just can't get with a lot of things that are happening now in today's society. So we could be more truthful with ourselves, and it's going to help you if we get in the habit of being more truthful with ourselves and being more truthful with others. So we lie because we don't think we can handle the truth. We lie because we don't think we can handle the truth. And I'm going to stop right there, because if I start going off, then I'm going to tell all my notes before I get into it. The truth is always better than a lie. People respect honesty, and that holds so much truth right there. People respect honesty. I can just meet you, and somebody can try to have told me that you were this kind of person and that kind of person, and I always give people their fair chance to show me what type of person that they actually are before judging you off of what somebody else said. But I can't respect the person that's a liar. And once I find out how untruthful you are, that really speaks volumes to the level of respect that I have for you. And that's just what type of person that I am. But truth is always better than a lie, and people do respect honesty. I'm going to tell you the truth about the truth. And once we get done with this message today, I want us to be able to look at truth in a whole new light, and even the way that you apply some truths to your own self in your own life, and be honest with yourself about how it may be damaging you in some way, shape, or form, because it might be doing more harm to you than you actually realize. Don't overlook those things, because you might be suffering in ways that you don't have. Unnecessary suffering. You don't even have to be suffering in some of the ways that you have been suffering in, but you are, because of the type of person that you have allowed yourself to become over time. You are just way too untruthful. And I know it's not for everybody, but if it's for you, then it's just for you. Listen, you cause yourself more harm than damage because you lied too doggone it much. Stop doing all that lying. And then you wondering why you always coming into conflict with different people, and they talking about you behind your back, and you stuttering and tripping all over your words and all this type of things, and you ducking and hiding from people because you done told somebody something that ain't true, and now you got to watch your back and all that type of stuff. It's not easy to live a lie of untruths. It's just not. Because then you got to remember the lie. Oh, I thought you told me this. No, I told you that. Oh, I don't know what I told you. I forgot. You up here, your whole lie that got twisted around and messed up. Listen, y'all gonna stop. Y'all gonna stop. I promise you, by the end of this message, you're gonna be like, all right, you know what? Some of what she's saying got some kind of truth in it. And I'm tired of going through some of this stuff. All right. Let me stop, because I'm going to get too far ahead of myself. I told you I was geeked up about this message today. This message had me on I love the truth. I do. I love everything about it. And I don't have to explain myself to anyone as far as the truth is concerned. I don't have to say anything to you at all about how I feel about the truth or what my relationship is with the truth and all that type of stuff. If I believe that something is not truthful or what I believe to be reality or truthful to me in my eyes, to my morals or to my standards or whatever, I move accordingly to how I feel about how truthful or untruthful a certain situation is. And I don't have to tell nobody about it. I got a connection with the truth. I have built a bond with truth over the years, and it's personal. And I want you to be able to personalize it too with yourself, because it's going to have a reflection on the type of life that you live, not only in your present, but in your future. You will live a truthful life that is going to be more pleasing to you once you gain a connection with you believe to be reality in the truth. It's nothing to be played around with. It's just not. So, yeah, real people tell the truth. And I wrote that down simple and plain as a complete sentence. And you take that edge. I know some of y'all might gonna get offended today. Some of y'all probably already got your panties all bunched up, sitting over there with an attitude, talking about she don't know what she talking about and all that type of stuff. But I'm gonna say it anyway. I am just the messenger, and I am going to deliver this message either way. Real people tell the truth. Take that how you want it. It's so much counterfeit people out here. You're fake, you're phony, you a $3 bill. You walk around here, ain't nothing truthful about you. You're not a real person because you're not living a life of the truth. So many people struggle with this. So many people struggle with it and have been struggling with it for way too long. But let me tell you something too about people who are not real and choose to live a life outside of the reality of what their truth actually is. Let me just give you a news flash. It's okay to be who you are. Bam. Right there. It's okay to be authentically you. Walk in your uniqueness, walk in your truthfulness, walk in your oneness. Whether they don't like you, they gonna say stuff to you, they gonna say stuff about you, they gonna say stuff behind your back, and you still walk in your truthfulness anyway. You're not gonna be able to please everybody all the time. Walk in your truth. Do what pleases you. Do what pleases your spirit. Do what pleases your heart. Stop going after the wrong things, because you, how you are, who God created you to be, your authentic self, that's enough. God placed you on this earth how you are for a reason. There will never be another you. You are one of a kind. Walk in your truthfulness. It's okay. It's okay for those of us who are not so comfortable with being who you are. So go ahead and be yourself, boo-boo. Be yourself. And that is coming from a person who has gotten in the habit over the years to being truthful with themselves. I never got comfortable with keeping up with the Joneses or doing things because everybody else is doing it, or wearing something because everybody else is wearing it. I always been my unique self. And that is the truth about me. When you look at me, you are looking at truth. And I'm going to toot my own horn as far as the truth is concerned, because that's what type of person that I am. Anything that I say to you, that I sit here before you and say to you, I don't lie to you, because if I lie to you, I would be lying to myself. I come on here and I tell my whole story, my whole testimony about how I was molested and abused and verbally abused, physically abused, always been the black sheep of the family. They still talk about me. Can't one person come on here or tell anybody that I lied about anything that I said about my testimony? Where you at? Where you at? Call me out on anything that I get on here and say. I have not lied about anything. If I said they did it, I know, because they did it to me. It ain't like they did it to somebody else and somebody told me that they did it. I'm telling you the truth about what happened to me. That's the truth. That's the truth. And can't nobody say I lied. We talking about the truth. We talking about the truth. When you living the life of the truth. And if it wasn't for me getting that junk up out of me, that would be living the life of a lie. For what? To cover up somebody's mess? To satisfy somebody else? Because you don't want to be talking about your family or putting them on blast. If you ain't like it, you shouldn't have did it. If you ain't want nobody to know how you abused somebody with your same bloodline. If you ain't want nobody to know, if you didn't want the truth to eventually come out, you should have never did it. Because nobody can say I told a lie about anything that I get on here and say. Because I'm not lying. And ever since I've been on here telling my testimony about my truth, not one person stepped up and said I wasn't telling the truth. Because that's not the truth. Because I'm telling the truth. What's your truth? Walk in your truth. Where's your truth? What you been sweeping up under the rug? What you been covering up for the sake of somebody else? Not being able to be who you are or what God has called you to be because of somebody else. Walk in your truth. There's a scripture in the Word of God for my Bible thumpers out there. What is it? John 8 and 32. I wrote it down. And wait a minute, what did it say? And you will know the truth. The truth will be with you, and the truth will set you free. You will know the truth, and the truth will set you free. A lot of us ain't free. A lot of us are not free because we are not living in our truth. We're not walking in our truth. We're living a life that is not even pleasing to us. I'm trying to help you be free within yourself. If there are things that you need to release that have been holding you bound for way too long, a lot of people walk in suffering. It's something about me. Let me just tell you. It's something about me that brings out the truth in people, whether they want to admit it or not. And I see, most times, I see adults act out in certain ways. And I try not to be judgmental towards people because of however they're acting out. And the truth is, there is something that happened to you that's hindering you, that you cannot release, that you had not released yet, that you need to get that junk up out of you for you to be acting out. We got some acting out adults, and you're not walking in your truth yet. What happened to you? Who hurt you? We're not walking in our truth. That's why we are being held down. If you're not walking in your truth, then you are living a life of lies. There are so much to be released when that scripture in the Word of God, the truth shall set you free, and it will. And I am a walking testimony of that. Even from the first time I began to tell my story, I was on drugs, I was drinking. My kids did not have the mother that they deserved to have. My kids ain't asked to be born here in this world. And I was desperate to find out what was happening to me, with me. Why am I acting out in these ways? Like something ain't clicking right. And when I began to tell my story, it was like, bam, woo! It was a release. It was a release. I remember the very first time I talked about it. And I was like, okay, now we can get down to the bottom of it, what's really going on. That truth set me free. It opened up a whole new world of reality for me. And instantly, I made a sound decision in my mind to walk in the truth, no matter how uncomfortable other people was going to be with me confronting the truth about the things that happened to me. I asked my mother why certain things were allowed to happen to me. I'm like, why? I want to get down to why, what's going on. It's not going to always help with us confronting people that may have harmed us or allowed certain things to happen to us, but we have to experience healing and get rid of all of these things by any means necessary. We got to open these wounds. We got to get down. We got to dig it up. We got to get it out the way so we can walk in our truth. And a lot of us are being held bound by things that we don't have to be held bound by. I told myself a long time ago, why am I still suffering from the things that other people did to me? Not only did I have to suffer because you did it to me, but I'm still suffering within myself. I'm not the cause of my own abuse. These are things that happen from the hands of other people. I decided to release it. That's the decision that I made within myself. I decided to release it. I said, if anyone has to suffer for the abuse that happened to me in my life, it shouldn't be me. It should be the people that did it to me. And not that I wish any harm on anybody. I will tell you right now, I don't have time to hold grudges against people for what they did to me. You know what you did to me. It's not my job to make you suffer. You won't have to answer to God if you don't repent. I am not God. But I made the sound decision in my mind to forgive them and to release those things and walk in my truth. I can talk about these things today because I made the sound decision in my mind to take on healing. And that's real. And I wrote down, real people tell the truth. This is not a fake story. This is not a lie. This is the truth. Real people tell the truth. They talk about what's going on with them, why they probably act out in certain ways that they have gotten in the habit of acting out in over the years. They get down to the source of what is wrong with them so they can move on to the next level of their lives. Real people tell the truth. And if you have not gotten in the habit of being truthful with yourself, even about the things that happened to you over the years, we all have a story. We all have a testimony. We all have truths that need to be told. Even if you don't tell nobody else, tell yourself, so you don't have to continue to suffer with living in these lies or these untruths or whatever. You ain't got to go out here confronting nobody. Go get yourself a psychiatrist. Talk to God. Talk to your mom. Talk to somebody you can trust. Write these things down on paper if you don't feel comfortable with talking to anybody else at all. Either way you do it anyway. Walk in your truth. Live your truth. Talk about the things that happened to you or maybe still currently happening to you that is harming you, your fears, whatever that is hindering you from walking in your oneness and living a life that is pleasing not only to yourself but pleasing unto God. A lot of us, we doing too much suffering around here. We just are. There is an extreme amount of suffering amongst the human race. Whether you want to admit it or not. That's why I don't teach religion. I teach humanity because we are people and this is real. Not to say anything bad about religion, but there are people outside of religions that need help. And I don't think it should be just closed into a certain type of person or what they believe. I think everybody should be healed. I think everybody should be helped. I think everybody should get down to the truth of what's going on with you and begin to take on healing or do whatever that you have to do that is necessary so you can live a more fulfilling and pleasing life. We're talking about the truth today. It's not going to be comfortable. It's not going to be comfortable. Everybody is not going to like it. I'm going to talk about my truth and I'm going to talk about the truth anyway. For those of you who are open and willing enough to receive a message on truth because you want to walk in your own truth and you want to live a life of truth, this message is for you. I know this message is not going to be for everybody, but the ones that it is meant for, I want you to receive it wholeheartedly. It's going to change your life. I promise you it is. It's changing minds already. Y'all got me up in here all excited, spitting and all type of things. I ain't even got halfway through my message. Let me move on. Life is easier when we tell the truth. Listen, I'm telling y'all stuff that you probably already know. That's just the truth. Life is easier when we tell the truth. I'm trying to prevent you from continuing to go through conflict, bump heads, go through unnecessary arguments, or whatever you had to go through with people that you love or whatever. It just makes life much easier when we are truthful. Truth establishes trust and promotes open communication. Truth establishes trust and promotes open communication, so we can talk to each other more. Okay, now that I see you being truthful, truth can open opportunities. It can open new doors. Everybody wants somebody on their team or by their side that they can trust, or somebody that they know that they can be truthful with to your face or behind your back. You never know. You never know what you may be denying yourself by not being such a truthful person. You may be denying yourself the opportunities of your life because you are not being a very truthful person. You can't hide from the truth. Listen, I'm telling y'all the truth right now. You can't hide from it. Okay, temporarily, you can dance around it, but you can't hide from it. And some people can be misled because of how long they have tap danced and they just have fun with it and they just be shooting out lies like a dart gun or something. You just slinging lies everywhere. I have seen them. I have experienced them. I have been in relationships with them where they just thought it was funny. Worse than these kids. Like, you a whole grown person and you just telling lies and laughing like it's funny or something. And then at the end of the day, you hurting yourself. You setting yourself up for failure. And ultimately, that is what happens in the long run. You can't hide from the truth. You can't try to make the truth something that it's not. And when we try to live in these truths or get comfortable with telling these truths, we don't hurt anyone but ourselves. So truth is powerful. The truth matters. Truth is powerful because it holds power. It holds power. You can bust a door down with the truth. You can move mountains with the truth. You can climb molehills with the truth. Oh, that's the truth. Let the truth in. I'm telling you, truth is powerful. All you have to do is simply tell the truth and everything else is done. You don't have to do nothing else but tell the truth. That's how powerful the truth is. The truth matters. The truth matters in the court of the law. The truth matters. Some people can be wrongly convicted because somebody out here telling lies about them and all that type of stuff. Like, the truth matters. Whether you telling the truth or telling a lie can mean it make the difference between life and death to somebody else's life. So the truth does matter. So before being untruthful, I want y'all to do something real quick. Before being untruthful, ask yourself, why lie? What's the point? What's the worst that could happen if I just told the truth? I want you to ask yourself that. Before the next time you go to tell a lie, stop for a minute. Stop before you let that lie roll off your bottom lip. I want you to give yourself a couple seconds and just think about it in my head. Like, we know when we about to tell a lie. Come on. We know when we about to tell a lie, and this is going to be out of the ordinary for a whole lot of people because we have allowed lies to become a part of us over the years. So it's going to feel strange to some people, but I want you to give it a shot anyway. If you don't like it, listen, and you ain't got to stick with it. You ain't got, if you live in a life of lies, if this is what's working for you, then you do what you do. But I want you to try this and see how it works for you. The next time you go to tell a lie, I want you to ask yourself in all sincerity, what is the worst that could happen if I just told the truth? Am I going to die? Am I going to roll over and have a heart attack? Is somebody going to go shoot my mama? Like, what's the worst that's going to happen? Because it might not be as bad as you think it's going to be. That's the point of me saying it. It might not even be that bad for you to just flat out tell the truth. So we tell unnecessary lies. Ask yourself, what is the worst that is going to happen if I just make the decision in my own mind right now to just tell the truth? All I'm saying is it might not be as bad as you think it's going to be, even the outcome of it. You know, you might have to face the truth with yourself and with other people. You probably don't even have to revisit that situation no more because you done told the truth about it. You done got it out the way. You ain't got to explain yourself no more. Come on, you want to talk about it? Bang, bang, here you go. This is the truth. That's the truth, and leave it alone. But you study going back and forth with people. You lying. You lying, so you going back and forth, and you ducking people, and you're not answering your phone, and all this type of stuff. And now you argue. You going back for this. This whole situation could have been over and done with if you would have just told the truth the first time. The person probably would have responded in a way that you probably didn't even expect them to respond. Sometimes people can be more understanding than we realize that they could possibly be. They probably be like, oh, okay. Oh, you should have just said that. You might get that response. And you are heart palpitating, you are nervous and all that type of stuff because you don't feel comfortable with telling the truth. Just tell the truth. The person that you lying to probably just may understand. You might be a little embarrassed or whatever, but the truth is the truth. And at the end of the day, that's what the truth is, whether you want to realize it or not. And the same person that you sitting up there lying to is going to find out the truth anyway. So you might as well save yourself a whole lot of frustration and tell the truth. Give it a shot. Give it a shot. If you don't like it, then you ain't got to continue to do it. Just see how it feels. It might settle with you in a place that you are a little more comfortable with than continuing to tell a life of lies. So yeah, you can't replace the truth with anything. Either it's the truth or it's a lie. There is no substitute for the truth. So you can't take the truth and try to replace it with something else, because then it becomes something else. It's not the truth anymore. It's not the truth. Once you try to swap the truth out with something else, then it becomes something else. It's untruths, or it is a lie. Or you could just not say anything at all. So I don't want us to get confused with that. If you don't want nobody to know your business, you ain't got to tell them. You don't have to tell them. You don't have to say, well, it's something that it's not, and try to make up this whole elaborate story and all of this. You can laugh it off, or you can just simply flat out say, I'm not talking about it. It ain't none of your business. I'm just not going to talk about it at all. So that way you ain't got to worry about lying to nobody. You just don't have to tell people things that you just don't want them to know. You can leave the question mark blank. If somebody asks you something, lying is not necessary. It is not a resort. Sometimes that's the last resort. I gotta lie or whatever. Sometimes you can just not say anything. I'm giving y'all options. See? I'm trying to help you. I'm trying to help you and make it comfortable for you so it can be a little more easier for you. Sometimes you could just not say nothing at all. The truth is that nothing under the sun, that there is nothing new under the sun. The truth is that there is nothing new under the sun. That's the truth. There is nothing new under the sun. My father always taught me everything that is, always was, and always will be. That's the truth. That is the truth. My father embedded that in my brain so long ago. He passed away over 20 something years ago, and I can still hear him saying certain things like that to me. Everything that is, always was, and always will be. And I say that because we got all this new stuff going on now today. And we think that it's a whole bunch of newness and, oh, some people must have just invented this and just invented that. No, they didn't. They didn't. There is nothing new under the sun. The earth is created by 5 things. Let me say time, matter, space, there's 5 things that this earth consists of, and everything on this earth stems from those 5 things. None of them can be what they are without God. So God is one of the 5 things that this earth it consists of. Is time, space, matter, and God is one that I'm not remembering right now, but everything under the sun consists or was created from those 5 things in a very intelligent way. That's where God comes in at. Some people call God infinite intelligence because of the way that things are created on this earth, but there is nothing new under the sun. So a lot of things that people try to convince us of, these things that are truths, and people are coming up with so many different things. If it has not always been since the beginning of time, then 9 times out of 10, it never was. So that's the truth. So whether you decide to believe that or not, it's totally up to you, but that is something that I am truly convinced of, not only because my father taught me that and I believe that man to be a genius, but it just makes sense to me. So the truth, that is the truth. You can't change the truth. You don't have to prove the truth. The truth will prove itself. The truth will prove itself. Some people be out here talking about, let me prove it to you, and all of those type of things. You don't have to prove the truth. You can simply say what the truth is. You can live what the truth is. You can walk in your truth. You can talk in your truth. You can live a life of truth. And if people don't want to be convinced of what the truth is about your truth, your life, the truth of the world, reality, and the truth about their own lives, the proof is in the pudding, as they say. It will eventually come out what the truth actually is. So you don't have to prove the truth. The truth always speaks for itself. I'm trying to save y'all some trouble, because a lot of y'all be jumping around here doing backflips and all this type of stuff to try to prove yourself to somebody and all that, when you don't have to do none of that. You can save yourself a whole lot of time and energy and all that type of stuff and just live the life that is pleasing to you. Most times, I let people think whatever. There are so many untruths that I allow people to think about me. There was a rumor going on about me, maybe, I don't know, about close to 20 years ago, I want to say, that I was a man. Mind you, I got kids that are almost 30. I'm like, how do people, well, somebody said that she not even a female, that she a male. Oh man, I thought that was so funny. I didn't even deny it. I was like, really? So what you think? And I was talking to a guy at the time that was interested in me, who heard the rumor about me. So you heard that rumor about me, and you still showing interest in me enough even for you to relay that rumor back to me. And I was like, the only thing I said was, I got kids. Like, like make it make sense. How can I bear children if I'm not female? But whatever. Sometimes I let people think whatever they want to think about me. I do not do no whole bunch of jumping around trying to prove who I really am and all of that type of stuff. If you want to believe it, then that is on you. And then sometimes a lot of people discover the truth about me, and I'm not who they heard, that what type of person they heard I was, or I'm more real than they actually realize. And they heard certain rumors about me that they decided to believe to be true, and they try to come back. I be like, nah, don't come back. Like, you already decided to believe whatever you chose to believe about me. I just be wanting people to keep that same energy. Like, I don't judge people off of what people told them about me. I give everybody their fair share. To not, you don't have to prove anything to me, but unless you do something directly to me that I don't like, then I judge you from what type of person you have shown me to be, to me. Towards me. That's what I judge people. If you treating me in a way that I don't necessarily appreciate, then I will treat you according to that. Not because I prejudged you or what I heard about you. And a lot of people do that. Human beings are too judgmental for me. We out here prejudging people and believing rumors and all of that type of stuff. And then all reality, you sitting up here talking about something. Now you want them in your life. I be like, nah, keep, if that's the person that you already got set up in your mind, that's the image that you already allowed yourself to have about me before you actually gave me a fair chance of realizing what type of person that I really am. Don't try to change your mind now because you see what type of person that I am. Keep that. I want you to hold on to it for dear life, because Sakara don't need you. I'm going to keep on checking one way or another, but there's just so many people out here like that. And it's obvious that people prejudge other people for whatever reason. And then they try to treat people according to that way. I don't let people treat me any old kind of way or whatever way that they feel like treating me. You're going to treat me the way that I deserve to be treated because I know my worth, or you're not going to deal with me at all. And that goes for everybody. I have standards. I have morals. I have values. Certain things that I stand on, I don't let go for nobody. Not for no man, not for no woman, not for no family member. If you're not going to treat me in a way that I treat you or deserve to be treated, then you can be dismissed out of my life. And I stand on that because I am good to everybody. And I'm not going to alter my my values or my standards to make it comfortable for other people because of however they got me set up in their mind. Some people just think they better than everybody else, and they want to walk around here treating people like that. That speaks volumes to what type of person that you are. You have insecurity issues. If you had to walk around trying to prove yourself about how much you better than somebody else and all of those type of things, then you need to check yourself. You got unresolved issues that you need to deal with, because not one person on this earth is better than any other human being. And I'm talking about all of them. I'm talking about those sitting up there in politics and all that type of stuff. We're human. We have flaws. Some of us are wrong as wrong could be. We make mistakes. We have wrongdoings. We damage ourselves. Some decisions that we make might harm other people and all of those type of things. But nobody on this earth is better than anybody else. And I know a lot of people choose to believe that they sit up on their high horses high enough that they can look down at other people because you got more degrees than a thermometer and you done been to school all these many years and I did what you ain't do and I know what you don't know, so I'm better than you. A lot of people are truly convinced that they are better than other people, and I'm here to tell you that you're not. God placed us all on this earth with purpose. Whether we choose to fulfill our purpose is up to us or not, but God created us for a reason, and we are all equally as valuable as the other person. Nobody is better than anyone else. So Being untruthful can be very damaging, not only to relationships, but to society and to one's own self. I'm telling you, being untruthful can be more damaging than we realize it to be. It can cause damage in relationships. That is one main reason that I am not married anymore, in all honesty, because of the untruthfulness that played a major role in my marriage. I just couldn't take it anymore. So being untruthful makes way for more bad behaviors: lying, stealing, and even killing. I know y'all listen, color folks, they used to say, if you lie, you can steal. If you steal, you can kill. You might think that's cliche, or you think that's just something that we used to say or whatever, but that is so true. Being untruthful makes way for more bad behaviors because you think you are comfortable with your bad behaviors. So you think that if one bad behavior is okay, and maybe if you got away with it, it makes way for more bad behaviors. There is so much truth in that. If you lie, you'll kill. If you kill, you'll steal. I think it's lie, steal, kill, however it go, whatever order that they had it in, that holds so much truth. So if you don't want to be the type of person who makes way for unlimited bad behaviors to take place in your life, there is no limit to what you may or may not do if you allow yourself to be comfortable with bad behaviors. It just makes way for more bad behaviors. You just off the hook at this point. You are here doing anything, and it all started with one white lie. We got to get better with that. I'm telling you, we don't want to be the type of person. You don't want to end up in jail. You don't want to see your kids watching you live like that and all these type of things or whatever. Anything might happen from us getting in the habit of living in these allowing these bad behaviors to resonate with us. It's never a good thing. So that is ultimately the life that you choose for yourself, whether you want to take heed to that or not. But that is real, it is serious, and I think it should be taken into consideration before we do things like tell little white lies, because that can be the beginning of something devastating in your life, and that is the reality of it. So being truthful can improve your overall health. It opens doors to love and happiness and moving forward towards our long life goals. So I'm just telling you the benefits of being truthful. And I don't know if I wrote it down, the damages of being untruthful. It causes things like low self-esteem, anxiety, high blood pressure, and all these things. So being untruthful can have a damaging effect on our physical health. It don't just stop with you telling a lie. I mean, you can cause all kinds of internal damages, probably even shorten your lifespan if you are the type of person who gotten in the habit of becoming a liar over the years. And if you are the type of person that got in the habit of becoming a more truthful person over the years, it opens your whole world up to love and relationships and money and life goals and so many ways that you can benefit from being a more truthful person. I did psychological studies on all of this. Once, if I am researching something and it says psychologists have discovered, or psychology's researchers shows, and these are the things that comes from psychological studies. And I love giving you guys pure facts that people do researches and on actual human beings, and they study human beings over time, and they come up with these kind of facts on how being truthful and untruthful can be beneficial or devastating to your life. So it's not like I'm sitting up here just telling you anything that I think. When I do studies, I do studies. So we all should be willing to admit the cold hard facts about ourselves and face the reality of who we really are. And that's why sometimes we run and hide away from our truths, because we are not willing to admit the cold, hard facts about ourselves. Admitting the truth is the only way to move forward, to learn from our mistakes, and to feel better about the human beings that we have grown to be. So this is going to be the truth about the truth and the life that you can look forward to when you open yourself up to living more truths in your life. It's not going to happen overnight. You know what level of truthfulness. Everybody is on a different level as far as being truthful and untruthful is concerned. Some people only are only untruthful as far as certain circumstances are concerned. Some people are untruthful about everything. Some people lie just unnecessarily, just lie about every single thing. So you know what type of person that you are as far as untruthfulness is concerned. But that message about the truth, that thing had me on fire. That's how I ended my message, by the way. We have to learn from our mistakes so we can feel better about the human beings that we are growing to become. And I'm telling you, it was not easy for me to prepare this message about truth. It really allowed me to open my eyes up to evaluate even the people around me who may be truthful or who may be not so truthful. People that I know, I can depend on, or have my back, or whatever. The people that I know I can call when I need something, and the people that I know that I cannot depend on. It really opens your eyes up to the world that you surround yourself with when you think about this message about the truth, and not only evaluate the people and things that are around you. It gives you an inside look at yourself. Like, don't be scared to take a look within yourself and see what is going on with you, because that is where the truth is going to start. But listen, that message about truth was the truth, baby. You can't deny the truth. You just cannot deny the truth. It is always better to tell the truth. It is always better to stand on truth. It is not going to always be easy to be truthful about everything all the time. It depends on who you are and where you are in life and what life you desire to live for yourself. Some people have gotten more comfortable with living lives of untruthfulness, and some people want to walk in a more truthful life. They want to know the truth about life, why they are still here on this earth. So I don't know which person you are. I don't know where you are as far as the truth is concerned with you. Only you can answer that question. Put it where you can feel it. I'm telling you, tell the truth and speak from your heart. I thought I wrote that down in my messages too, but I didn't see it unless I looked past it. But tell the truth and speak from your heart. Not only when you are speaking to other individuals, but even when you are taking a close look at yourself. Tell yourself the truth about yourself with all sincerity, because you are going to need that truth to help you along the way. It is not going to help you to continually live a life of untruths. So it depends on where you are in life. What kind of life have you been living? Look at your life, your past life, the people that you have been associating yourself with. Is it people that you can only live a life of lies around, that you feel like you're not even comfortable with being truthful with? Like, what kind of people are you surrounding yourself around? That is all going to determine, that's going to be the determining factors of the life of truthfulness that you decide to lead in your future. I can't be who I am around these certain people. So that way I have to make some decisions. I want to be authentically me. I want to walk in a closer relationship relationship with God. I want to experience the truth of God and who I am really meant to be. I'm talking about my spiritual connection, where I am spiritually, where I am as far as my healing is concerned, where I am as far as my lineage is concerned, the things that happened to me years and years and years before I even made it here on this earth, generational curses that my kids are suffering from because I'm not living a life of truth. I'm ready to break some generational curses. I don't know where you at. Listen, I don't know where you at with it. All I know is the way that I want to walk into living a life of truth. So if my kids do get any kind of untruthful means of living, they ain't going to get it from me. They probably get it from this society or whatever workplace, things that they have to experience out here in this world, social media, all that type of stuff. But when my kids come around me, they keep it real. Because they know I keep it real. I'm just not that type of mom. I'm not that type of person, period. As far as any role that I play in life, I want to walk into every room being authentically who I am. I want to be comfortable with my oneness, comfortable with myself. I want to live my truth. That way I ain't got to put on a costume and a mask and all this type of stuff before I walk in a room. I'm going to walk in that room with who I am. What you see is what you're going to get, whether you like it or not. Some people like it, some people don't. It is what it is. But anyway, big shout out to you guys that are on my live. I love y'all. Y'all blessing my spirit so much, even from your presence here. Here on my live. I'm just steady running my mouth. I appreciate y'all. You could be doing something else with your time and with your attention. I do not take these things lightly. I don't take these things for granted. I prepare these words. I pray over these words. I want you guys to hear God. I want these words to be effective. I don't want to just say things just to make them sound good. I want to say something that may help somebody. I want you to be helped along the way through my testimony, through the things that God has me delivering over to you. So it might not be comfortable. It might not be pretty. It might not be easy. A lot of things that I get on here and say, it's not easy for me to say. The things that happen to me in my family. And I always say that not to judge anyone's struggle or compare anyone's struggle to mine, but my family hurt me worse than people that are not my family. And I always say that it hurts worse coming from family. From what I experienced, it hurt worse coming from family because that's not what I expected. I expected to be nurtured and to be loved and all of those type of things, and then instead I got the complete opposite. So I just had to kind of grow up on my own and teach myself my own true worth and the things that God has installed in me with the help of my father. I'm so grateful that God blessed me with the father that he gave me, because without him I wouldn't be who or where I am. But I'm just so glad that I just wasn't stopped right there with the things that I had grown up in the same household to believe those untruths about myself. I'm glad that God opened up another side of the world to me to experience and to make a decision on who I really am. Because if I was just like confined just to that family, I would be dead or on drugs, or my kids wouldn't be doing well. I know my life would not be where it is today if I did not realize a lot of truths about myself. So I'm grateful for my walk and for my testimony and for the things that God has opened my eyes to. A lot of people corner themselves into certain situations and they never choose to look at the other side. I know something happened to you. That one thing happened to you that might cause damage to you along along the way, but you also had this other side too. So when you open yourself up to looking at the complete picture, then you can open your world up to what it is really meant to be. So I want us to be able to walk in our truths of who we really are, our purpose, and what God has created us to be. So I do have one quote and one affirmation, and I'm going to get out y'all face on this beautiful Saturday afternoon. Once again, my heart is truly grateful for those of you who decided to join in on this live with me. So the quote that I wrote down is from a man named William Shakespeare. And I know you probably have heard that name before. I know they study his poetry a lot in school and all of those type of things. But he was a brilliant English poet back in the 1500s. I believe he died in the early 1600s. And he just created words and phrases that people still use today. I was going to write some down, but I didn't. But William Shakespeare really made a mark on this earth and made a name for himself while he was here on this earth. So this is a quote from Mr. William Shakespeare. This above all, to thine own self be true. I have quoted that so many times during my studies. This is the first time that I actually wrote it down as a quote, but I want you to remember that. I want you to take that with you. To thine, he said, this above all, to thine own self be true above anything else. This above all, to thine own self be true. You owe yourself that much. You owe yourself that much to be truthful with yourself, even if you are not as truthful to other human beings as you are that you may be will have to work on, or you want to be more truthful with other people. Practice being truthful with yourself. That is where it's going to all begin. That is going to be the stem of better habits, leading a more fulfilling and pleasing life when you are truthful with yourself. So you owe it to yourself to be true, because it is not going to be possible for you to be truthful with other people if you are not truthful with yourself. So above all, to thine own self be true. That is a very, very, very powerful quote. And my affirmation is, I am energized by truth and love. So I want that to power you today. I am energized by truth and love. I want you to be energized by truth and love. I want truth and love to kind of be the spark that ignites your fire. Excuse me, because truth and love is going to carry you and is going to be with you a very long way. I love truth and I love love. And this is why I chose that affirmation today. I want you to say that to yourself. Convince yourself of these things. Say it over and over and over again. I am energized by truth and love. Even if you don't believe it the first, second, or third time that you say that to yourself, I want you to say it over and over and over again until you are convinced that you are energized by truth and by love. So that is it, you guys. Listen, I know y'all had enough of me today. They like, girl, you done sat up here and gotten all business, talking about the truth, and what we talking about ain't being truthful about, and all that type of stuff. It is what it is. Listen, I am not a 100% completely truthful person. No one is. But I want to be as truthful that I can possibly be. I want to work on my truthfulness. I want to walk in my truthfulness. I want to walk in the truth. I want to live a life of truth. I want to live a life of truthfulness over my life, experience truth, the truth of God, the truth within myself. I want to be surrounded around people that are honest and that know how to tell the truth. This is what I want for myself. And it's all going to begin with me. How truthful your life is and how truthful the people that you are surrounded around is going to be is totally and completely up to you. It's totally up to you. So it all depends on doing an evaluation on yourself. What kind of life that you choose to lead? How truthful has your life been or have not been? Things that you want to make changes within your life so you can stop suffering in certain ways because of the untruthfulness that has kind of become a gray cloud over your life. Kind of remove that cloud and allow the sun to shine through. Let me just say it that way. There's a ray of sunshininess, truth that is trying to make its way in your life. You will not be disappointed. You will not be sorry. Sometimes we can get in the habit of believing things that are just not true and living lives of untruthfulness. And we should all want better for ourselves, for our lives, for our children, for our family. These things spill over to different areas of our life, and you don't want that to stop you from the blessings and the things that God has for you and all of those type of things. That it's just so much life for you to live. And messages like this, like walking in truth, can be something that will open your world up and allow you to experience a whole nother side of life. So I ain't gonna tell you nothing that's gonna hurt you. I promise you that I am not, but I love y'all. Y'all are so decent for just being here on my live, and I appreciate y'all. God bless you. Thank you so much. Really quickly, let me just shout out my YouTube channel. That is True Value Knowing Your Worth on YouTube. I already have over 1,000 subscribers on my YouTube channel. I am at over 500,000 views on YouTube. Your girl gonna be viral in a minute. I am so excited about that. It don't have nothing to do with fortune or fame. It's just that messages like this need to be spread all across the world so people can take a look deep within themselves and hopefully not suffer in ways that they have been suffering in a way too long. I get tired of seeing people suffer. That's the reason why I want my messages to be all over the world, because I just see people suffer, and there are things that we can do within ourselves that can kind of minimize that suffering, if not bring it to a whole complete stop. So it's for you. You're welcome. I love y'all. God bless you. Once again, thank you. Subscribe, True Value Knowing Your Worth on YouTube. The link is in the bio or my Facebook page. Also, my books are available and on sale. That is True Value Knowing Your Worth, Walking Treasure, Discover Your Hidden Treasures, Feed Your Soul, Your Personal Guide to Health and Wellness, and Religiously. And that is taking a closer look at spirituality and religion. My books are available and on sale on Amazon. You can buy the Kindle version, you can buy the paperback version, whichever floats your boat. So that is it. I am out of here, you guys. I talk to you because I love you. This is the reason why I talk to you. So I hope that message on truth made a difference in someone's life. Even it's not going to be an automatic difference. It's not like flipping the switch on and off. You're going to have to think about some of these things, reevaluate some of these things, think about how you can apply them to your life. Take a good hard, cold look in the mirror and ask yourself the things that you can be doing to better yourself, and can you live a more honest and truthful life. Do it for your own sake. So God bless you. I love you. Once again, thank you. Peace, you guys. Look out for more motivational messages. I will pop on here, Lord willing, on Monday, just to remind you guys that it will be Mental Health Monday and the importance of focusing on your mental health on the regular basis. In the meantime, God bless you. I love you. You guys continue to stay blessed.